Stubbs and AAA Productions presents the AAA Podcast. We're aware, alive, and about it. We're here to cover all topics, no holds barred, from politics to sports. We've got you covered. No topic is off limits. No issue is too hot. This is the AAA Podcast.
We back, baby. We back. Yeah. AAA Podcast in the building. Been a while. We back.
What's up?
Shout out Reggie. D80 in the building.
Salute, Reg.
I'm Jay, a.k.a. Black V. Salute. What's going on with you, brothers?
You don't want no problem, man. You don't want me.
Reggie, shout out to Godless Reggie, man, out there killing in the game. And shout out to D80 out there killing in the game.
Thank you.
With both of y'all out there doing it, man. And shout out to the rest of the guys on AAA Sports. So shout out to all you dudes. Shout out to Big Chicken especially. And we here. Bro, it's been a lot that's been happening in the world news-wise. And we've been missing out. And I wanted to try to cover it all, but I don't want to be here all night either.
Facts. Major facts.
We could talk 3 hours just about Diddy.
Just about Diddy. Take that.
Y'all can talk 3 hours about Diddy. I'm not.
No, I don't want to. I'm just saying every day is more and more with him.
Facts. Yeah. Oh, yo, shout out to Suge B, man. Shout out to Suge B. He seen you joining, watching us.
Salute, Suge B.
So Suge B, bro,
Suge?
we gotta get swole. I'm about long overdue, and that's for me to interview this brother and give him his flowers. Because he been a staple in the underground music scene and just out there pushing it, and been doing it for a long time for music and helping other people get on and see their vision, just traveling and doing so much more, throwing bomb ass parties and everything. So shout out to Suge B, man, my fellow football teammate.
I never met the guy, but salute.
Shout out to Suge B, man. So. What we gonna do? We're gonna jump into the news first. It's been a minute. Anybody got anything they want to say they got going on before we jump into the news?
Well, you know me, I got my show Sunday, Faith, Lies, and Confusion. This week is going to be about Hinduism. Should be about 11:30, 12 o'clock Sunday morning, afternoon. That's about it for me.
Okay.
Yeah. My aunt's funeral is tomorrow, so we're gonna bury her. So that's running heavily on my conscience. Yeah, thank you. Just trying to get through that, and just prayerfully speaking, hopefully get back to filming some episodes. Some crazy things have happened, and I want to do another Don't Sleep on Tennis, but it's just my mind has been kind of scattered at the moment.
Right.
I seen your numbers on that today too. I seen that today on TikTok.
I actually it's like a couple days old though, but that's so weird how that goes, man. I don't understand it, but yeah, thank you though. I saw the like, appreciate that. I was like, man, he probably ain't watched that shit, but thank you for liking it. I don't care.
Yes, I did, because what really caught my attention, I seen the numbers, because you know how it just be popping up like your before you shit. And I'm like, damn, like okay.
And then we live, so I can't tell you what I update that. Well, we'll talk about that later.
All right, real quick, bro. While you're talking, I've been getting a lot of people that's been hitting us up trying to ask about the Madam President and the Major, and any updates on that. Okay,
so we are trying, and Mr. Wyclef Jean, if you're listening, hit me up, man. So yeah, we're still working on the film, still getting things done, and still doing interviews, because we got to interview Madame Trio's two nephews. But as far as the actual film itself is concerned, we got the last part of the narration by Wyclef to be done, and he's in Germany right now, and soon to go back to London, and then come back, and then he's gonna head back overseas. So just trying to get this guy to just sit down for 5 freaking seconds so we can make this thing happen has been crazy. But as soon as we get that to happen, it's a wrap, because we about to drop it. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. So it's still going. It's just waiting on him to do his part.
I've been telling folks, man, it's a lot of hurry up and wait, and it's a gift or the curse when you dealing with somebody famous, especially when you can interact with them directly. It's that then you're on a lot of their time with a lot of other stuff compared to maybe if they
Man.
go to their manager and everything else, someone to remind them. Where it's like we have direct access to Wyclef, and then it's just like he'll take them a week, 2 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks to respond back to something. And then it's like bow. Then it's like, okay, wait.
I know.
So, well, shout out to Wyclef, man, out there doing this thing, man. And shout out to Major Solomon, and shout out to Madam President.
He's on tour with Janet Jackson right now.
Yeah, he on tour. Oh, control. So
he said it.
But,
at what?
So yo, shout out Abdul. What up, brother? What up?
Salute.
So,
What's up?
Abdul said even if Ish ain't on it, man. Abdul said he's still trying to be on some pod. D80, so we got to get him on.
Okay.
Yeah. So shout out, little cuz. Love you, man. And let's jump into the news.
In the news.
And the first thing we're gonna talk about is Iran launching missiles at Israel.
Before we jump off the cliff, I will say that I don't know, like the specific year that Israel got the missile defense system that they have.
Iron Dome.
Yeah, but I do know it has been a long time that and it would be rockets, not necessarily missiles.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a difference.
Yeah.
But the initial system that they had was to protect them from rockets from Hezbollah that would come across the border from Lebanon into Israel, striking, some military targets. If there's like a bus or anything that they can get within that I don't want to say little range because it's not little, but within that border range, they're gonna attack. So when the story came out, I was like, this is interesting because some of those rockets still get through.
Yeah.
But you got like a whole shield, like you said, the Iron Dome that protects you from missiles. So I'm just very curious on why I can't deflect both. But go ahead. It's just very interesting.
So I really don't know. Well, yes, I do. I was about to say I don't know why this is news. I definitely know why it's news.
Oh,
but
you know why?
People never talk about what they do. Why is Iran firing on you? Because you fired on them first. You always messing with people. Now that I really know you, Israel, for who you are, you're a colonizer. I know that you want your land and your country to expand into way out to Iran's territory and all the way out to the Nile River. I know that about you. I know that most times when Iran defends itself and other surrounding countries defends itself against you, I know that the United States shoots their rockets down out the air. I know that. I know that your whole military and everything you got it from here, basically. I know that we fund everything for you. I know about the war crimes you're committing. I know about the genocide you're committing. I know that every last one of your presidents ever has a fake name. I know a lot of things about you, Israel. So much so that I don't care if someone fires at you because most countries in the world, your president is wanted for war crimes. They break every NATO treaty that they ever have gotten. I can't think of nothing nice to say about Israel. Nothing. Except for the fact that you disappoint me.
Damn. Oh, what I'll say is I think that this whole conflict has, and to Reggie's point, exposed a light at that Israel isn't as innocent. Neither side is innocent, right? within this. But what I will say is that it is exposed, and I think for the first time, a lot of Americans, doesn't matter either both sides of the spectrum, as far as your left or your right, have taken a look back and be like, yo, like before we just America would just send tons and tons of money. And yes, their whole security system, their confidence and everything else is built off of the fact that big bro step in and fuck shit up for you when shit hits the fan.
Yep.
Benjamin Netanyahu, if I'm saying his name right, forgive me if I'm wrong. What I will say is that this go around, he has at least acted very arrogant and just basically like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. And a lot of Americans are like, well, okay, that's what you want to do, and we're telling you to chill out and everything else. So we're gonna let you fuck around and find out. We all know that eventually we'll jump in, save the day. Hell, when the rockets, but majority of those were rockets, like our brother said, was sent off. We shot down some of those, and probably a lot of those more than we'll take credit for, because we still want to keep the idea, the belief in that there's nothing that's getting through that dome, right? And that it's going to be even more than maybe what it actually is as far as the Iron Dome is concerned. And we stepped in and helped out in a lot of ways. But I also feel from everything that happened that Iran really doesn't want war. I mean, I know there's issues, but I felt like conversations were had behind the scene. And this is my opinion. I have no proof, no thing of it whatsoever. But I feel that conversations were had that Iran was like, yo, we have to do something in order to also make ourselves in this situation not look like we just bent over and took it with you going and killing old boy, and he's being our allies and stuff like that. So they had to retaliate in some shape, form, or fashion, because to me, where the Rockets were sent, in the way it went about it was like everybody knew it was happening. It was all on the news and everything else before it happened. Everything was publicized, and it didn't feel like war. It felt like staged retribution, for lack of better words or terms. And I know I probably sound crazy saying it, but it felt like all parties involved are trying to save face but appease their people.
So, how many people lost their life doing this?
I don't know.
I don't know. I can look it up.
I ain't heard nothing about nobody dying. Nothing.
Well, if you want to be I can't remember the guy's name anymore. The Iranian spokesperson that spoke earlier, he said that they're not going to do like Israel and focus on civilian targets. They're going to obey the laws, and they're going to focus on military targets. And that's what he said they went after,
because they don't want to give the excuse for the bullshit excuse, for America and everybody else. Like, now let's all go ride in. They don't want to give them that opening.
Mm-hmm.
So they only hit.
But did it even kill anybody? Any military, Israeli military?
I don't know.
A couple people lost their lives. I don't think it was more. I could be wrong, but when I last seen it, I think they said something like maybe 10, but maybe less. But that pales in comparison to what the lives that have been lost from the other side. And I don't have a dog in this fight. What I will say through honest perspective of looking at it, from a humanitarian perspective, is that like, yo, this is some crazy shit, and there's a lot of wrong that's been done on both sides. But one side seems to be getting caught more and more with just not giving a fuck and doing what they want to do, and getting caught with their pants down. And there's no I don't want to say retribution, but there's no holding accountable. Like I feel like Israel has to be held. There's no consequence for the violations that they have committed, and that bothers me.
Look how many media people they've killed in the past 5 years. Just count how many motherfucking innocent media people that these motherfuckers have killed. That'll tell you right there what they own. They don't want you to see it. Listen, I seen this video, right, where the UN aid trucks was coming in to fucking bring supplies and shit to the Palestinians, right? The civilian Israelis was throwing shit at the trucks trying to stop them and telling them they're anti-Semitic for trying to feed these people that are starving. Their mission is to annihilate these people, and they're this close. They're almost all gone. They're literally almost all the way gone. Then you got fucking dummies like what's her name? Katie Haley, that's her name.
Mm,
You know what I'm talking
probably.
about?
I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
She's like a congressman. She was running for president or some shit. She's really Indian, but she didn't bleach her skin real good. She looks like
Oh, you
she's
talking about out of it's not Katie. It's
Nikki Haley.
Nikki
Haley.
Haley, something Haley. I seen her kiss a well, not a bomb, like a missile or something, and wrote on there, finish him. I'm like, people just act like these are not human beings. Like these motherfuckers are just lower than dogs, lower than rats. Nobody cares anything about them. It's just sad. It's sad.
Wow, bro. That's raw. Wow. Anything else they wanted to add before we jump to the next one? Yeti? No? Okay. So next up we have a legend. John Amos passes away. R.I.P. Triple OG. Rest in peace. Man, he's good times, and there was a lot of other things that he was doing, but
do you got a favorite?
Iconic for playing the role of the dad in
Coming to America.
Coming to America.
Uh-huh.
With McDowell's? Was it McDowell's?
Yeah.
Yo, that was wild.
I'll break my foot off in your royal ass.
That. So, yo, RIP to a legend who definitely deserves to have flowers. A tremendous actor. He played two phenomenal cult classic, beyond cult classic, just two phenomenal, amazing roles, and is always going to be loved and respected. He's going to be always loved from Good Times, and he's always going to be loved from Coming to America. And he starred in dozens of other roles, but those two stand out and also make him timeless. Huh? Roots. Oh, Roots too. Damn.
Oh yeah.
The interesting part about his passing is the bad part is he was actually separated from his family around this time because he had a rare sickness. He was being separated where his own daughter didn't know he passed till the media talked about it.
Oh wow.
Damn.
I think his brother, if I'm not wrong, cremated him before they can commit an autopsy on him.
Damn.
They think there might be foul play on there.
Wow.
That's fucked up.
Sometimes some people do stuff to quiet everything so it doesn't become a drama-filled thing. I don't want to put a negative connotation with his brother did and go straight to like foul play, but it could be foul play. Sometimes some people do shit like, yo, let's just get this over with because we don't want it to become a circus.
But listen, he got kids though. You can't do no shit like that.
But if his brother was his caretaker or the person in charge of his estate,
his will was changed before he passed.
Damn.
I couldn't hear. What
he said his will was changed right before he passed.
I was just about to say that. To be continued.
Yeah.
So look, did y'all see y'all seen the picture online with that girl?
Yeah. I did. I thought that was hilarious, but it's not funny, man. That's kind of gross. That is freaking gross.
So if anybody don't know what I'm talking about, I guess he was on vacation somewhere recently or somewhere on the beach, and I guess he had a girl, and a younger lady. And so after she passed, she posted a picture of him sitting in the chair with his legs open and with like some swimming shorts on, and she gonna say, it's a damn shame, or rest in peace. She put that pussy on him so good that day that he couldn't even move.
That was horrible, man. Horrible. Like, who would post something like that? Like, who would do that?
Are you surprised?
Yeah, that's some crazy shit.
If I was just one of his kids or something, I'd probably whoop her ass. But that shit is funny.
Facts. Up next in the news, we have JD Vance versus Tim Walz debate. The odd thing about it, and I don't want to go too deep into the thing because I still think it's all a bunch of bullshit. But the odd thing about it, a lot of people were saying that this is the first. These two seemed to came across more presidential in their debate, the way it was handled, the way they conducted themselves, more presidential than the other two candidates did.
Okay.
Well, I think that's a terrible picture of him.
Tim Walz.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. And the other one, I seen an interview about him, and he was basically saying like, trying to make the comparison to gun violence in the United States and saying it's a cultural problem, blah blah blah, and saying blaming it on black people. I can't really like make a definitive excuse for gun violence in the United States. But one thing for sure, two things for certain, it definitely is related to the amount of guns that are here. There's no other place in the world where gun violence is even comparable. No place. I don't give a fuck where you say Colombia. I don't care how dangerous of the place that it is. It's no comparison. As long as the Constitution is the way it is, there's nothing that you can do. It's literally nothing you can do. So, but I just don't like that how he's pinpointing a particular group of people. It's a superiority complex. It's very Christian nationalist, and I don't like that.
Yeah. I thought the debate was interesting, not in a fun way. Just like, oh, okay. You got to see a lot of Tim Walz personality, whereas you got to see a lot of JD Vance in that stoic kind of just no emotion, no real movement. Try to stay real calm, talk real soft. Shtick that he has, and it's not going down.
Right.
It was in a sense exposed because when he asked, and normally they don't even let the candidates ask each other questions, to be honest with you. But when Tim Walz or when Governor Walz asked him, when Tim Walz asked him about the January 6th insurrection, when he asked him about the voter fraud, it was amazing how he tried to. I'm trying to move forward, I'm looking to. I'm like, man, shut the fuck up. Like, nobody want to hear that shit. But
not at all.
And that was the only part of the debate that I found interesting. Other than that, I could care less about either candidate. Unfortunately. Right. Well, actually, I should say they're not equal. I'm saying JD Vance is under this shoe. He's a POS. But as far as like, what they're gonna do if they actually become in power, like vice president is just a title. You don't do shit but talk.
Yeah, right.
I have
Next
to.
Up. Go ahead,
I had to explain that to a coworker of mine. Because some people are 100% ignorant on politics and still vote. We were talking about Kamala, and he was like, "Yeah, what did she do for 4 years? She didn't do anything." I said, "She can't." And he was like, "But she's the Speaker of the House." I said, once he said that, I said, "Why am I even talking?"
Well, yeah, you can't entertain the bullshit. Yeah.
Listen.
Now, granted, if something happened to the Speaker of the House, she would be the person to make the vote to, break the tie or whatever. But yeah, I get you.
Right. I had to break down who Nancy Pelosi was and all that shit. It was a waste of time, bro.
Oh wow.
Next up, we have Haitian gang. Grand Griff killed 70 people, including 3 infants, in violence over past few days in Haiti. This is not his. I don't believe this is his gang, but this is the most popular Haitian in the world right now, besides Wyclef. I mean, Wyclef in a positive way, but second most popular guy is Barbecue, and he's also at the point making a statement that they will take the Kenyan police that are being sent in as foreign invaders, and they will treat them as just such when the UN and everybody tries to send them into Haiti.
Y'all gonna have a problem.
They're already there. But I really can't say that I blame them because that I conversate a lot with Africans and shit like that. So I know that the people that they send there, they're just regular police. They're not even trained properly to be going over there. And they basically, I don't know if you know the circumstances, but they basically were paid to do that. Um, we need to people just need to leave them alone. Just leave them alone. Just let them figure out what they got going on in their country. Let them set up their system. Let them do whatever they need to do. Leave them the fuck alone. Um, why are whenever they send people from other countries, why are they called peace peace officers or
Peace officers.
and peace fighters? If y'all about peace, why the fuck you got guns? So I don't know. It's just it's a tough situation, but people need to leave them alone.
Yo, I want to ride. I ride with. How about this? Do I think that Barbecue is a martyr or a hero? Some people he is. I don't agree with the tactics he used and some of the innocent people that he may have run through or taken out in order to get his position. I do believe that maybe his genuine interests may have been for his people, the overall betterment of his people, excuse me. But I understand also that there's a lot of people in those positions get forced to make a lot of decisions that a lot of us won't understand because we're not in that position. I don't agree with the guy all the way, but I can understand why some people may look at him like he's a leader or a hero. Whatever, I'll say this, the things he did do along with the other gang leaders in that country got the UN, the US, and the world's attention. And that means something. I just don't think he realized that as much as you've made this stance and the things that you've done, the way you've gone about it is the reason why they'll never invite you to the table. And everybody else is dictating what happens to your country, but you and the others who fought for what you wanted for your country. So it was like there's a lot of lives lost and a lot of other bullshit that happened. But I don't want to say it was meaningless because meaningless is, but that is not going to go recognized or is not going to be understood because of the fact that you don't get a seat at the table. You don't get a chance to voice your opinion. They don't respect you. They don't trust you. They can't use you. You don't serve a purpose to them. Or if you did serve a purpose, you already served it and they moved on past you. And they're just waiting for an opportune time to get you out the way to go ahead and set things up how they want it to be or who they want in there. So I hate that Haiti has to go through this because there's an amazing culture, an amazing group of people and families and history that goes with Haiti and a strong presence, but till they can find a way to get us out the way, but also find a way to get themselves where they need to be, we're going to continue this. There's no end in sight, but I hope it all works out. I don't know, man. After my cruise and tour in Bahamas and getting it, luckily the guy who took us on the tour down there, and this is the Bahamas, not Haiti, but the way he explained things and just the whole colonizer aspect of it and the way they're heavy on that down there and the way that even when this was still going on, there were still cruise ships that were still going and docking, not on the main island of Haiti, one of the islands as a destination. It just makes me question everything. Like, wow, what the hell is going on here? What's it really about? If that makes sense. So, saying that to go to the next thing that we have, which is going to be Venezuelan opposition, the guy who everybody says actually won the presidential election in Venezuela, goes and seeks asylum in Spain because Maduro, I believe his name is Maduro. Maduro is not relinquishing power or anything else. So it's crazy. It's a mess down there. And of course, you know who's at the center of that mess and running the puppet strings is the US of A. D80, tell me something, man. Fill me in, bro.
I mean, it's not much that I can give you as far as what's happening to the should-be Venezuelan president. But I tell you this, I feel like we're watching a real-life Jack Reacher episode that's playing out before our very eyes. And normally we don't get this kind of information. Like, we don't get insight that the CIA is actually trying to intercept an individual who is supposed to be a president and kill him. We don't get that. We just get the story after it happens, maybe 10 years, like, oh, the CIA did that, right? So I don't know, because to be honest with you guys, I read on the story, like I haven't, and not that I need to have proof, but when somebody says, hey, the CIA is trying to kill me, like you tend to believe them. But normally, you would see the residual of that. Like he would present the evidence or whatever, but he's on the run, so he can't like get in front of a news camera and be like, "Hey, here's my list." So, but we just got to assume that he's giving us some insight on what's about to happen to him. So he flees his country because he doesn't feel safe. The United States does supply South America with the majority of its weapons, and also Russia. And at times when we don't deal, China. So the Venezuelan president has sway over and with the major powers of this world.
Right.
So he can reach out and touch you in Spain. Unless, there's something else going on that we don't know. So I don't know, man. This is very interesting.
Yeah.
But again, we normally don't get this kind of insight until after he would have been shot or strangled or killed or however they chose to do it, and then all of a sudden it would come out. But it's just really weird to get insight like this. But I'm just waiting on to see, like, what do you mean? What are they trying to do? Like, was there somebody in the bathroom hiding as a butler and he came out his clothes and was like, I don't know. I'm being silly, but seriously, I just would like to know more. Because I think he might be right.
Yeah, Reggie Reg.
I just feel like I like the fact that Papi Espana is taking responsibility and taking some of their problems. United States, I'm not gonna lie, is a destabilizer for other countries. It supplies a lot of weapons to these countries in Central and South America and the Caribbean, legally and illegally. So we'll play our part.
Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
United States plays its part, definitely, but a lot of times other countries, other colonial countries, wiggle out the way. They act like they don't have nothing to do with it. You have something to do with it too, Spain. So you take your child and you let them hide up there, because people always complain here about people from there. I'm not saying that Venezuelans shouldn't be able to come here, because to me, I don't give a fuck who comes here. You can let every last one of them come. You ask me, but I'm glad that somebody else is taking responsibility for their problems that they started.
Yo, shout out to anybody. I appreciate, love any of our watchers, any of our viewers. What I will say, salute. What I will say with this is, from a propaganda standpoint, what doesn't get talked about is there are many people, they keep looking at our border and think that the main issue with crossing our border is like still Mexico. No. Yes, Venezuela is up there, but you know who also was up there that certain people don't speak of for agenda purposes is the Chinese.
Yes,
we have a lot of Chinese, and honestly, I not from anything to hate on them from a standpoint of a race. This is nothing to do with race. I'm more fearful of that if that was to be an issue, based upon the fact of China can be sending people over, because China is just like that in the way that they try to control and manipulate their people, to have their people come over. So wherefore they get enough people that came in or immigrated into this country, and when they want to decide to attack us or come at us, that they've already immigrated in a whole ton of people that catches by surprise.
Man in the high castle.
Huh?
Man in the high castle.
Man in the high castle, yes. So that worries, but I say that to say that it's not a racial attack or anything like that against the Chinese, right? Because understanding that there are a lot of people who are escaping from the oppression, the manipulation, and the control that the Chinese government puts on them, the lack of freedom that they do get to have. A lot of Taiwanese, so forth and so on. So I understand that, but I just want to say that looking at things from that perspective and focusing more on them than actually Venezuelans coming into this country trying to escape or find a better life. But I also say that I'm gonna keep it at Venezuela, and we're gonna jump into the next thing. Talk about a whole different perspective or look at the war in Chicago.
I don't know nothing about this.
Yeah, so what's happening right now in the city of Chicago is that a Venezuelan gang, El Tren, is, and this is the same gang that you heard about on the news out there in Colorado when they try to make it like they were taking over apartment complexes and everything.
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
I remember that.
This is that same gang that right-wing media is kind of using to propel a lot of fear into the country. And some of it may be true. Yeah, it's a real gang. Yes, it's a real gang. But I don't know if any of you seen when they showed like the videos of a bunch of Hell's Angels all on motorcycles about to ride out there.
Yeah.
And they were pushing that propaganda all on social media and news networks. That Hell's Angel gang, that was just footage of an actual Hell's Angel gang that was somewhere overseas. A bunch of them about to ready to get together to go ride out, and that was not actual American Hell's Angel.
Wow.
gang.
They're not going to do that. The Hells Angels ain't going to just go over there and do that. That's just they're not going to get no unnecessary heat. That's stupid.
No, they're not. And again, just like the whole Haitian dog eating thing, in whatever case, there's a lot of propaganda and bullshit that is spread. And the sad part about it, with all this technology and all this easy access to information, it feels like people are still becoming more and more stupider to just believe everything that they're told. The more information they have, the more stupider people become.
I mean, but honestly, studying the media in this country since its inception and before its inception till now, this is nothing new. It's nothing that has been different. And some black people will use the word dog whistles. Some people will use the word coded language, but the media has always delivered whatever it needed to get people to do what whoever's agenda is at that moment. And I'll just give you a quick example, and you guys can Google this when it, on X or wherever you want, if you want to. But when the armadillo and the it was actually owned by Mexico at first, Texas. Shocker there.
Ding, 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 ding.
Right. So when the armadillo, the animal, was first located in that region, the colonizers wrote home about it. And the thing that they failed to say is what size the armadillo was. So these people over in England were thinking that these were like 10-foot tall creatures that could roll in a ball and knock down a building. So it caused wide panic, and people stopped trying to come here until they realized that this thing is about the size of a baseball or a little bit bigger. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, if you're not clear with your messaging, if you're not intentful with what you're trying to say, or if you got a hidden agenda, or if you got, if you want to just stir up this shit, because I can name plenty of articles where across history, black man raped this woman, black man raped, and it never even happened. Turned out to be a white farmer doing something to his daughter that he didn't want nobody to know. So blame it on a nigger. It's so much of that happens throughout history. It's the same thing over and over and over again. So it's nothing new. Now that kind of stuff don't surprise me at all. For them using footage from somewhere overseas saying, "Oh, the Hell's Angels about to go out," yeah, that don't surprise me, man. I'm not shocked.
Yeah. Reggie, you got anything else you want to add to it?
Well,
This is America.
what's the correlation? What's the correlation with the Venezuelan
Guns in my
gang
ear.
in Chicago?
So they're actually what's happening is that that group that's whether they've been displaced, whether another group won't tell you that the way a lot of these people from Venezuela ended up in Chicago in the first place is when a lot of them were just sitting there busing or flying them to quote unquote sanctuary cities, right?
Mm-hmm.
No one the certain parties don't like to tell you the role that they played for these people to get misplaced, displaced, or put there. So
Right.
you have a lot of Venezuelan people who have come together and it's like, yo, survival of the fittest, right? Jungle. And so they're going to go and do what they're going to do, just like any other people who's immigrated to this country. When Italians came,
Gangs in New York.
Yep, gangs in New York. When the Irish came with the mob and everything else, with all these different groups that have come to this country that have like, yo, by any means necessary, we need to survive and find our way, right? So they're coming, and the most common means of finding a way to survive is not from a legal method for a lot of these people that come to this country trying to find a way. And so it doesn't make an excuse. I just want to create the understanding of this is not new to America. This is not the first time.
Yeah.
But my question is this. My question is this. Like in Chicago, I don't understand why they would even be speaking about a gang problem involving them.
Because it's not them. Because it's not them. See this brother right here on the screen, ex-cons for Trump brother.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's all propaganda. Create the narrative. Don't get me wrong. There is an issue, and they are having issues, and there is beef, and the Venezuelans are not bowing down, and it's becoming a fight over territory.
Right. But this is what I'm saying. Take the Venezuelans out the equation, right?
Right.
Let's go back 2 years ago before they got there. Listen, Chicago's gang problem was unfucking believable, bro.
Agreed.
It always has been. It's been like that since I've ever heard of it. Listen. I had made almost a fatal mistake. So I was working out in this place called Kankakee, Illinois. It's about an hour outside of Chicago, right? So this is when gas was like about $6. So I decided to get gas when I got in Chicago. Listen, never again, bro. It's like 90 degrees outside. I pull up to the gas station. I see these two Mexicans whip up. This is what they got on. It's 90 degrees. They got on full Dickie suits, hoodies, Lokes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hoodies with the hood on. Nike Cortezes, right? And they sitting there staring at me. I get out the car. They get out the car. I done pulled over to get gas in a Mexican neighborhood.
They weren't having it.
Listen, you talk about a motherfucker that was scared. And I'm with my two coworkers. They from Arkansas, so they don't know shit going on. They don't know. But basically, make a long story short, I think they just probably was like, he probably either too old or don't know. And I think they just let me go. But they definitely was watching me for a long ass time. They had tinted windows and shit. I was so fucking scared. I damn near put diesel in the rental car. And the only reason why I caught myself, I seen the green fluid spitting out.
Wow.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
Let's go to okay. So, yo, we'll go through it real quick because this is not a surprise. But over 120 people, a lawyer says that are involved in a lawsuit. God damn, this sounds class action against Diddy.
I don't believe that.
With everything that's going on with Mr. Baby Oil, Mr. The Diddler, aka P. Diddy, aka better known as also as the man that 50 Cent is forever always called out for this behavior, and all of us just thought 50 was just being an asshole and never took it serious. And now, I don't know, but take that. 120 people. How much of this does it feel like? I hate this because I feel like real victims get overshadowed by who majority of people that's more or less about money. Like, in my opinion, I feel that there's a whole people who are not victims. A lot of people, not everybody. There are a lot of people that's involved in this that are not victims, but their names are going to get brought up. So, what better way to protect yourself? Well, make yourself seem like you were a victim in all of this rather than a participant within this.
Mm.
So I look at this like them little class action lawsuits that come on TV. You know, a lot of that money goes to actual real victims, but you know, it's a lot of people that add on, and they just gonna go ahead and just give it to you, just cause. Like, okay, so the one girl from Dirty Money, now she's trying to sue him too, but she's trying to say that the other one was a witness. Okay, so and the other one is saying no, I wasn't there. That's one thing, and then the second thing is they just came out with an album about a year ago. Puff just came out with an album about a year ago, and you was on it.
Oh
So
wow.
why you do that? That don't make sense.
That's deep, man. I'll say this. I don't know exactly what the feds have under their belt. But if you do have anywhere near 1,000 bottles of whatever,
Right.
you're gonna have more than 120 victims. And from what I understand, these people party like no other. So it could be in the thousands as far as what I'm
Facts.
understanding.
Facts.
And some may be accomplices, some may be victims, some may be bystanders. I couldn't really tell you because, again, the facts haven't been released yet. But I'll tell you this. We can debate it, toss and turn it, flip and burn it all we want to. But when those videos and facts actually start to come out, like when the trial actually starts to hit and those things get to be released to the public, I mean, I think at that time, a lot of things that we're talking about now, we're gonna be like, man, how did we not know that? How did we not, you know what I'm saying? Because now we're just seeing things and we're like, how did we not know that? It's all gonna happen again. So we're gonna be on
Baby,
this.
yo, bro, is that all baby oil in that picture on the floor from the raid of this house? That better not be baby oil.
I mean,
I
for
mean,
real, for real. Honestly, I don't believe that baby oil shit. I'm not saying
bro, no, Reggie, look, that's at least about you got at least about 100 right there, maybe
but
more.
the Fed said it, Reggie. What are you talking about, man? Like how
man, they
they
be
had everything laid out on the
exaggerating,
table.
bro.
It wasn't Reggie.
You know they
To
be
your
They were
defense,
on the
Reggie,
table
like
at the
a
press
Reggie, to
conference.
your defense, it wasn't 1,000 bottles of baby oil.
Ain't no thousands.
No,
I
it
don't care.
wasn't.
Listen, I don't care if it's 998. It ain't no fucking thousand. I don't care what y'all say. Don't give a fuck. Mm-mm.
Poor
Listen,
Reggie.
do you know? Listen, do you know how much that is? Listen here. Are you thinking about this logically? Let's say he had 10 mansions, right? And let's say there's 100 bottles. That is a lot, a whole lot. So 1,000.
Whoa.
You would have
Yeah.
to literally
No,
have a whole
I
porn
feel
studio
that.
for that.
I feel that, but I think what you fail to realize, man, and actually you should fail to realize this because this shouldn't be fathomable, to be honest with you. But um, we're not looking at something that's normal. We're not looking at anything logical. We're not looking at anything that's supposed to make sense. And I don't think you're looking at it from that perspective. Like we're looking at some. Oh, hey, Afro atheist.
Hey,
We're
Afro.
looking,
Yeah, bro.
and we're looking at something that's totally what's the word I'm looking for? There's no precedent for this. I mean, we could try to say Jeffrey Epstein, but we don't want to say that because we know how that ended. You feel what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
this
nobody
is
wants to see Diddy die.
yeah,
Man,
like these
listen.
dudes, these dudes rented an island. Not Diddy. I'm talking about the Epstein. They had a whole freaking island to take underage girls to rape them. Like that's in fucking insane. But they did it. They had a whole system set up to do that. So
Look,
looking at
if
this
they
is
had
just
look, bro, if they had 1,000 ice cream cones at this island, I would feel you. I would feel it. 1,000 bottles of baby lotion. Listen, at this point,
Bro, Reggie, look at the picture, bro. That's just his
look,
bathroom. That's just his bathroom.
listen, we talking about Puffy. Listen, he's a businessman. He's a hustler. 1,000 bottles at
You
this
say
point.
he peddling baby oil.
Listen, 1,000
Man,
bottles at this point. Puff is gonna try to sell some of that shit. It's gonna be bad boy lotion at this point.
Reg,
I'm not gonna believe that.
Man, I ain't want to get into all this, but I'll talk about it. Okay.
No. We went on. We moving on. We got to move on. We got to move on. We an hour into it. I'm not gonna let my bro get pulled down the rabbit hole. All right, yo, let's jump into sports. Let's go with sports, okay? The sports. Let me take Diddy off the page. Let's go ahead. Yo,
let's do it.
Vikings and Bucks battle, a tough one. Kirk Cousins has proven himself to be the quarterback with nothing great to say, but always finds a way to play. Come through when you need him to.
You like that?
That's what I'm saying, Afro. He got to be at that point. He got to be getting a deal from China or something from that shit.
Maybe. Hopefully. I hope so.
Nah, see, that's not.
Let's not go back. Let's not go back. I'm gonna get Afro love you, but I gotta
I look, y'all understand. Y'all. Never mind. Okay. Being small-minded, man. All right, look. So, in my opinion, Tampa Bay lost that game more than the Falcons won it, to be honest with you. And I think the world sees that. But Kirko Chains did his thing. He stepped up when he needed to. He made the throws that he needed to. I mean, he threw some darts that I was just like, oh shit, he's got it. But to be honest with you, again, Tampa Bay, they kind of messed it up, man. I mean, on that last drive, I don't know who dropped that pass, whatever. I don't know like their roster. But it just kind of made me, I hate to even say it as a Browns fan, but I was like, damn, that's the Baker I wish we were able to have.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing, Reggie? That shit ain't funny. That is not funny.
It hurt. It hurt.
Right, exactly. And just watching him drop back, like it's gonna sound weird, but he has this like the same like. I'm just getting flashbacks of seeing him on Sundays, just being down at the stadium so many times, just watching him play, and I just wish again. It was a dream, man. And hey, Tampa Bay, y'all got y'all one. So even though y'all 3-2, it's okay. You'll be all right.
You'll be all right.
Kirk Cousins is the greatest of all time. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. Listen, he didn't pimp the system.
He did.
He's the Bobby Bonilla of the NFL, the greatest of all time.
Are you silly?
Hey, Reggie, I agree with you, but that was so wrong. It was so right.
Yes, he's the greatest of all time, man. Listen, he didn't completely pull the wool over the head of the system. He didn't beat the system at every chance he didn't got. Listen, every time he didn't got paid. Listen, from a 1 to 10 scale, he a good 4. And he didn't got paid like he had 12. He a pimp.
Facts.
Salute to the GOAT.
Salute. All right. Okay. Last up, we have Antonio Pierce receives a 8-year show cause order from NCAA for recruiting violations and much more.
Basically, they saying after the Raiders fire you, you ain't coming to us.
He can never come back to college football ever again. Basically.
That's what they're trying to say. And after the Raiders fire him, I don't know what he's going to do after that.
Well, look, Kansas City ain't playing that good right now. They just lost a receiver. Denver, we stink. So he looked like he okay for a little bit.
Oh, Denver just win?
Yeah, we 2-2. But look, our quarterback, he got 1 touchdown pass for the season.
Ooh. Well, I can't even gloat that. That we on the same boat.
If we get 5, if we get 5 dubs, we doing great.
Man. But hold up. See, okay, I got an issue. You're a Broncos fan, but you're a black person first. So you don't feel no kind of way about what they did to Russell Wilson, bro? Hmm? You don't feel no kind. You don't care? Ain't no pride? Huh?
Nope. You know
You
why?
don't, you don't care about his defense? You don't care about his
You
wife
don't
and
think
kids?
that he won in
Sierra?
that deal? You don't think he won out that deal?
No.
He doing Kirk
He is
Cousins
sitting-
right now.
He is. Oh, you silly.
He
I can't
getting
stand
over.
it. I swear to God, I can't stand it.
He getting over.
He knows.
Fuck you, man. You making $33 million.
He
I ain't
knows.
mad at that, man.
I think it's like 38
Psh,
plus $1 million from Pittsburgh, so that's like $39
Right.
million.
I think that
Facts.
Denver lost out that deal. That was
They
stupid.
did.
He had a good season last year.
He did. Statistically wise, he did.
I think that they was trying to clean house, but you went about it wrong. How the fuck are you gonna let somebody go for nothing and still pay him? That was stupid.
Yeah.
So he won.
I just wanted to see what your thoughts was because I'm like, man, I don't
was
like
upset.
Sean Payton because of that.
Yo, okay.
I was upset because now I know that the next 3 or 4 years we're fucking doomed. We gave away Judy too. We're doomed.
All right. So we already talked about Israel and some of the other stuff, but the main topic for this episode, hip hop,
Hang
not
on.
dead.
We skipped something.
What did we skip?
The hurricane relief, like when Trump said
Did you put it in there and I didn't see it?
Yeah, but no, we can skip that. I just because I had something I really wanted to say on that.
Say it before we jump into it. Go ahead.
Okay, just real quick, real brief. Okay, so Trump came out and was like, "Hey, the reason you're not really getting the funds is because the Biden administration or Kamala took the money and put it to the immigrants on the border control crisis." So it became this big blowout thing. Like, oh, we can't get money from FEMA. So you got people doing TikTok videos, making claims and problems, talking about when I call, they're talking about giving me $750. Oh my gosh, this is it. Trump was right. So I just wanted to kind of put it out there that was some kind of bullshit, and it was hilarious because Trump's the best fucking spin artist I've ever seen in my fucking life. I'm dead serious. This motherfucker could spin an elephant in circles. Not playing at all. He is okay. So the point is, the 750 was an increase from the 500 that the Trump administration had initially set aside for FEMA.
Get the fuck out of here! Really?
Yeah. So, and the $750 is just the initial claim for you to get money in your account right now, money in your pocket right now, and you still go on to file your other claims for all the major materials, but for food. Baby milk. I was gonna say baby oil. Y'all got me messed up.
And his people know that, but they know that the headlines is gonna get more attention than the actual truth.
Right. Okay. Then let me hurry up because I know we're trying to go. So you got Elon Musk on X every day talking about, buying this, buying that, but he is working with the Biden administration, sending 60 of his Starlink units to all those. I don't want to say countries, all those.
So he double-sided, trying to get rich but talking shit at the same time.
Basically, yeah. They man, I don't even know. Those units cost a grip. I think it may be like 500,000 a piece. It is a lot of money for these units that they got.
Can I say something to add on what you said?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get why right-wing people fall for Elon Musk bullshit. Everything that they fight against with climate control and fucking electric vehicles and all this other shit. And here you have this dude who majority of his wealth come from these electric vehicles who's sitting there pushing this shit out. And that's his agenda.
And he's working with the Biden administration.
And working with the Biden administration because he's working in this thing. But you think that he's on your side.
Yeah. But that's what I wanted to put out. That's what I wanted to say. I mean, it's a lot more detail we can get into, but that's another issue. But I just had to say that because it's just so funny how you got in front of the people you're, playing, doing all this, but behind the scenes you're making deals with the Biden administration, and they're working together right now as we speak. But on the same time, he hop on X, they're doing this and they're doing that, and Trump this and Trump. I'm like, come on, man.
He full of bullshit.
Yeah, playing both sides against the middle. All right, go. I'm just saying.
Okay, let's go. Main topic. We're not going to talk more about Israel. I think we covered it pretty good with Israel and Iran. Although it goes rabbit hole goes deeper.
Oh, yeah. Very, very deep.
Very deep. And not to alienate, not to offend. We'll go ahead and jump into hip hop.
So we're gonna offend hip hop, but not Israel. Oh, that's racist.
That is, it was. I did it. So
yeah, see,
I'm
that's
okay with
colonization,
that.
Man.
Yeah, basically.
All right, what we doing?
Wait, before we jump into let me back up.
I mean, we can talk about it. I don't care. I don't mind.
No. I have a video. I'm gonna play this video because of Israel real quick. And I sent the video to you, bro, but I want to share this video with people.
Oh, yeah. I don't think Reggie gonna like it.
He ain't gonna like it, but can I share it?
Hold on. I was thinking about that earlier today. I was like, man, Reggie not gonna like this shit.
Reggie ain't gonna like it, but what he said made some sense. So let me pull it up real quick. Give me a second.
Yeah, but it's we about to go into the hole.
We going into the hole.
We got to because it's and I'm gonna just use the word conflated because that just seems to be the way things have been going, and that's kind of what I think his name Charles White or whatever.
Charleston White, yeah.
Charleston White, that's what he did, and I understand exactly what he's saying.
What he was saying, yeah.
Well, we could even take it to the biblical context of what he was saying, and that's where his thoughts originate from. But he's not talking about. But we're talking about. It's not the same thing, but it's the same concept.
Right. Sense? Yes. Okay, I'm about to share it, and then we can go from there. That's the wrong one.
Are you sure? That look like it?
No, it's the right one. It's the right one, but it's this one.
Oh, okay.
Not too in depth because I don't want to get too far into it. Well, let me just say this. Water, boy. Those are two brothers fighting. One brother is wrong. The brother that looked like he's right is wrong. The brother that's looked like he a wrong, low down, dirty motherfucker is the brother. It's the brother who had love and compassion for the brother who looked like he's doing right, that's mistreating his brother that looked like he's doing wrong. The Palestinians, when the Jews came from the Holocaust, America didn't take the Jews. They took the Nazis. They took in the Germans, the Nazis. That's where Trump and them come from. Because we wanted the scientists. But the Palestinians say, well, the Jews can come here. Nobody wanted the Jews. They had nowhere to go after Germany, homie, the Holocaust. The Palestinians say, man, y'all come here, man, y'all our brothers. You have to understand what goes on between Abraham and them two brothers. And the birthright, that's what's going on over there. Way back. The Palestinians is the brother who say, man, we know y'all's wrong and we got different mamas. Your mama was rich. Our mama was a low down hoe, supposed to be, but she had good love. Your mama wasn't right. Your mama was jealous, but you our brother. And you can come here even though y'all been mistreated. Y'all come here. We're going to give y'all this and we're going to have this. The land that y'all get is a look messed up now.
It's not even about the story why he don't make sense. I'll tell you why. This is why he don't make sense. Even if he say the biblical text correctly, right? Let's say he says it correctly.
If he said the biblical text correctly, he wouldn't be using it. So you can't say that.
No.
Because it wouldn't apply.
This is what I'm saying. No, this is what I'm saying. This is where he goes wrong at. Forget the biblical text, right? This is what he said. He said that when the people came to Israel, right then and there, he's saying what happened, but he goes wrong because he said they invited him in. No, they didn't invite him in. The UN sent them there because that area was a British colony at that point, right? Mm-hmm. Then he took it to right. Then he took it to a biblical narrative. Those two things contradict each other. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, because the biblical context was
Right.
Isaac and it's
Right.
Isaac
Once you get like you're talking literal, then you're going to biblical.
and
So
Ishmael.
yeah,
It's Isaac and
yes.
Ishmael.
So what Reggie is doing,
you
Reggie
can't
is
do
doing because Reggie knows the actual history. He's like,
No, he said it. He said it at first. He said that them people came from
yeah, we know from Europe.
from
Yeah,
Europe.
yeah.
He
They're
said
not the true
right.
Israelite. They're not the true Hebrew. They're not the true.
Exactly. So right when they get there, they dead wrong. They dead wrong. Because that's no different than the story here in the United States, right? Even though that we kind of benefit from it, but we paid our dues through slavery.
Basically,
right?
some immigrants came in, which is
Set up shop and annihilated everybody.
And Americans,
if
you look at it from that perspective, Americans would be like, "What the fuck?"
But it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
God damn!
You annihilated these people.
All right, wait, hold on. Let me finish it, then we can go on.
And then you're using the book
Who
to
got the
justify.
messed up land when they came out the Holocaust? They worked and they took rocks and built Israel.
Thanks to
only
America.
to begin to take their brother's land. And their brothers saying, "God damn, man, y'all didn't have nowhere to go after this, man. Y'all gonna come do it like this? Nigga, this our land. Nigga, fuck you talking about. My mom, we Abrahams. We was the firstborn seed. Y'all ain't this." And they saying, "Man, y'all,
we spared y'all."
Nah, homie, we loved y'all and embraced y'all when after y'all had been wore down, beat down, destroyed. Y'all my brother, even though we got different mamas, the same daddy. Because our mamas don't like each other, we'll learn not to like each other. Because my mama hated your mama, I learned to hate you.
Just off that.
And that's what's happening. See, Abraham and Sarah, one of them was his woman, the other one was, man, go on fuck your cousin because I can't give you no baby. So Israel is wrong. Israel is wrong. They got every tool and every capability to oppress Palestine, to listen in on them. It's almost like 9/11.
But weren't they attacked first though? Isn't that the argument?
There's a conspiracy that we attacked ourselves on 9/11. It's no different than Israel.
Stop it there. What he said, there's a huge, I hate giving niggas, I say it again, hate giving niggas. But every now and then, you get a nigga who makes a valid point that I gotta sometimes stop and listen to and be like, fuck. And there was a propaganda, it was something, and there is still something that they are trying to accomplish, trying to achieve. And there's a bigger forces at play here. And I hate that this motherfucker gets it, but I love that if more of our people got into more of understanding what's going on around us, to understanding the maneuvers of government, the maneuvers of the world around us, we'd be a lot better served or more aware, at least, to how manipulation and games are being played. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's crazy that it comes from Charleston White. And this is one of the most intelligent conversations that he had, that I didn't have to agree on everything that he said. But the premises, the foundation, the basis of it was scary as fuck. Am I wrong for that, D80?
Yeah, but I mean,
he broke it down so niggas could understand it. In my opinion.
but when you bring up the Abrahamic, I'll call it the Abrahamic covenant, the Abrahamic stories, and invoke that, we know that history because we've traced that. And so when you say something like that to a person like me or somebody who actually understands the history and where it comes from and where it's gone, it kind of tosses it gives any validity to what he's saying out the window, because he's got the story wrong. And when you got the story wrong, you can't, there's nothing else you can tell me at the moment, because they're not killing their brothers. That's not the facts. You know what I'm saying? And it's a reason why they're killing them. And it ain't because of that. is because that they feel that these people are inferior, and they're taught that. And when you're taught that, it's easier to kill somebody who you don't look at as human, who you're raised to believe is less than a human being, 3/5 of a man, so to speak.
He also has to realize that they don't believe the same thing that he believes. Jewish people and Christian people don't believe the same thing, and there's also a difference between Jewish people, Zionists, and Israelis. Those are three different things as well. So that's another part where he's confused about, especially when he's going off of the Abraham story. They don't believe the same thing that you believe, Charleston. So again, he shouldn't put that in there.
Right.
And to your point, D80, he's not saying the story correctly or like that anyway. So that makes it kind of bogus. But the story about how the Israelis got there, now that part's true.
All right, so last up, hip hop, RIP, sales, money, to a degree touring, to a degree merchandising, to a large degree record sales is down. This is one of the things that all of us in this group probably got chastised about when we seen it, when we grew up, when we loved hip hop and how we knew it, or how we felt we understood the industry. And our look on it, and when we go to express it, made us feel like the old man get off my porch, or the bro, you hating on these young dudes getting money, because it was always circulated around money, right?
Yeah.
And so the over consumption of hip hop, the over readiness, availability of hip hop, the over industrialization of hip hop has come back to bite us in the ass. And I feel that because we cheapened it out so much that now that people have been like, yo, I can get a good rap song like it's nothing. We weren't gonna drop it. It became we cheapened the product. Because when most of us who grew up loving hip hop because we didn't like rappers because they dropped a hot single. Yo, you might drop a hot single and we were like, yo, this is cool. But then when we heard your album, we were like, oh, hell no, this motherfucker got to go. We respected the single, but we loved you because of the album and the quality of it that you dropped. Along the lines, it changed to where it was like you can drop whack ass albums, keep dropping hot singles, and the quicker you can give us these hot singles, more we love you, right? That's why Lil Baby can't find a rhythm to save his life right now, because he knew how to make hot song. He didn't know how to make a whole product work.
A cohesive project.
And so he didn't have things that could withstand the test of time. It's why what has saved Drake, as much as Drake delivers for you on a single, Drake still understands that the body of work overall matters, right?
Even
if he cheated the process, he still knew I still need to have.
What you mean cheated the process? What you mean
writers and everything? Process? A whole shit ton of writers.
How's that cheating the process?
It is cheating the process, but it's cheating the process not from a consumer standpoint. Cheating the process is more from a creator standpoint.
Really, and we're talking about hip hop, right? No, we're talking about hip hop, right? And he's cheating the process, right?
My personal opinion of hip hop. Not yours is different.
We can use your personal opinion of hip hop, and we can go back to 1978 when the first.
I don't care. I don't like that shit back then.
No, Negro, don't try to bail out now.
No, nigga, I like what I like. I said my personal view.
No. Because you talking about, this is the way that hip hop is now. No,
No,
we
I
go
didn't
right
say-
back to the conception of hip hop. And the first hip hop hit record to hit the waves is the Sugar Hill Gang.
And it was ghost written like a motherfucker.
Exactly. So
I know.
Stop
I
it.
know.
Stop it.
No,
All of them have ghost
I'm
writers.
not.
It just
Because
happens.
that's not because what I love.
What you consider
No,
hip
but I'm
hop is
sitting there.
bullshit.
No, because
you got a concept in your head of what ain't reality.
no, I
Like
don't.
all these people
No,
have writers.
You're
All
putting
these
a
people have
concept.
heads.
No, you're putting a concept in my head of what reality is.
I'm not.
That's not.
I just gave you facts.
No, what you did was you stated a point that is a factual point. That's not
It's a
my
fact.
point. That's not my point because it's not like I use what you reference as my point of
You're
reference.
trying to use Drake.
No,
and
no,
now-
no, 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 no,
You're trying to
no,
use
no,
Drake,
no.
and now
What I'm
is how
saying-
hip
no,
hop
what I
has
said-
changed and fallen off.
No,
No.
what I'm saying is-
He
no.
got everything he got being hip hop. He's a hip hop artist. You have writers or not, it has nothing to do with it. So you're applying context and rules to something that don't have context
I'm not.
or rules.
No, because I never got to because you were so anxious to jump on the point. You didn't let me falter or fail at that point.
It's
You-
not a
you
failure.
jumped in- You seen an
It's not a
opening.
failure.
No, you jumped in an opening without
It's
ever
not
me
a
sitting there
failure.
get to express that point because that was never going to be the point that I was making. The
Well, go for
point
it.
out.
Go ahead.
Okay, what I'm saying to you was that in hip hop, those who are appreciated from your J. Cole's, from your LLs, from your those who are truly appreciated in hip hop, deliver a body of work. What I said to you about Drake was Drake understood the commercial success while still understanding the fact that he still needed a whole totality of body of work. It wasn't totally stuck on the fact of I need ghostwriters for a hit. Motherfucker would deliver a whole album full of ghostwriters with solid songs.
But listen, you can't prove that though. You
We can pull up reference tracks of this nigga's doing this.
Prove that shit. Like when I be hearing people say that, like you can't prove
No,
that. Like,
Reggie. There's reference tracks of this nigga, and half his album is ghost written tracks.
every person album that you go to is going to, like when you go to the credits for writing, it's going to be a whole bunch of different people names. I don't care who you name.
No, okay, no. What the difference is this? What I'm saying to you is this. This is what. We can't. No, here's the part that fucks up Drake. Is that for Drake, we can prove that.
How?
You mean how? There's reference tracks. Quentin Miller. It was. We just the problem. I don't want to get lost on that because that's a winnable argument that I don't want to win because that's not important to the main purpose of the conversation.
Yeah, I to be honest with you, I don't even care about that. I'm still.
I don't care. I don't care about him. What I'm sitting there saying to you was that
because you switched up what you said earlier, and I'm just waiting for you to spin it so you cannot catch yourself. Go ahead.
No, what I'm saying to you was about is the fact that for us, when we fell in love with hip hop, it was for me at least, and I did preference this in it. For me, it was not like just don't give me a single. What is I always hear a hot single, and we be excited to be like, what does the rest of the album sound like? And then when we heard the rest of the album, we were like, nah, this nigga's a one-hit wonder, or nah, he ain't got it. Like the albums, the rest of what you deliver, not just from your single, but from your album, matter. What I'm sitting there saying is, when it switched over to Drake, was like Drake also understood that I can't just give you a hot song, I have to give you a hot album. So he would use ghostwriters and so forth and so on.
The whole project. Ghostwriters on there like everybody else did. I would agree with you, but the thing is like if you say he had a whole bunch of ghostwriters, I would like to see you compare it to any other rapper and be like, well, see, he had this many, but he didn't, and I don't think that you can do that.
So if you go off your goats, how many of us can sit there and say, yo, I could pull up a whole bunch of Jay-Z ghostwriters? We go to Kanye is the exception because Kanye didn't use ghostwriters. Kanye just used writers. And everybody and their mama came out, but because he got production credit, because he put it together, Kanye is the exception to the rule. You go to 50, and he'll fight it vehemently about the fact of having any ghostwriters for any of his shit, but he'll take all the credit for writing niggas hooks, right? Because at some point,
the ambiguity of your argument's amazing, bro. It's amazing. It's very
what I'm
amazing.
saying to because you keep trying to think that I'm trying to sit there and make this point, and that's not my point.
trying to Dr. Dre him, like that's what you're trying to do.
Who? Dr. Dre? Who?
You trying to compare Drake like he's Dr. Dre,
bro? How about this? The nigga's on record for lying for songs that people love, and he said he wrote it, even admitting to other songs that was Ghost wrote and that come back to bite him in the ass because the reference tracks get released and he didn't write it. The niggas.
Anyway, you can doctor a track to make it a reference.
No.
Yeah.
No. What I'm saying for Drake is, bro. What I'm saying for Drake is that's not the case that helped him out.
I'm trying to tell you, it didn't help him out.
It didn't. I'm saying. So what I'm sitting there saying is it didn't help him out, but he still lied about it because he still understood the fact.
What Reggie's trying to tell you is the fact that you honestly really don't know. You weren't
I do
there when
know.
the reference track. You weren't there.
No,
when the
I do know because I do know because the artist released it.
Not there.
The artist released it and he couldn't deny it. But the dude is credited as a writer.
It does not matter. You were not there.
No,
you're trying to discredit. You're trying.
No, you're trying to discredit.
Listen to what I'm telling you.
No, I hear what you're saying.
It and you read it, right? Just like the rest of us have, right?
No.
Hold on, wait, yeah. No, you've been making your point for 50 fucking minutes, man.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'll
destroy it.
Go ahead. Right. Okay. Yeah. You never done that. Good luck. All right. So you got a reference track that was released, right? Is that your fact?
Yep.
For any person who puts out a
song, I didn't say any person. I didn't say any person.
I'm just giving you a scenario.
Go ahead.
For any person that puts out a song, you have a reference.
I'm talking about Drake specifically, but go ahead.
I don't care.
No, because your argument goes outside of the argument I was making.
Anyway,
person.
I haven't even made an argument yet.
Go ahead.
So a person makes a reference track. Drake makes a track. He puts his track out. You go back and you say, oh, he stole this song from this X, Y, and Z person. That's not stealing a record. That's not having a ghostwriter.
My argument was never about stealing.
I didn't say you said that. Because you're not fucking listening.
Go ahead.
I'm not going because you stopped listening. You stopped listening 10 minutes ago. You just
No, I stopped. I stopped because your argument is not my argument.
I've never been able to make an argument.
You said I said. You said I said. So when you said I said this,
the premise of what you were trying to say, my original point was that that's what built hip hop. Having help, having writers, ghost writers, dead writers, live writers, all that, that's all hip hop.
Yep.
So your position on what your thoughts of what hip hop should be is a facade.
I never said. See, the problem is that you took that. I sat there and said that my interpretation of this is what hip hop should be, and I never said what my interpretation of what hip hop should be.
You did. No, you said the pureness of it.
When I said it,
my original people that we like didn't have ghost. You said that.
I didn't say they didn't have ghostwriters. Because I understand the foundation of hip hop. Who was the first person when you started saying about the original, one of the biggest songs in hip hop ever, was the first person to sit there and yell out it was ghost written?
It wasn't the biggest ever. It was just the first hit record.
I did because I already knew that. I already knew it.
Right. So all I'm establishing is that having a ghostwriter is a part of hip hop.
I know that. What I'm saying to you was that I said Drake was smart enough to understand that it was more to hip hop than just a hot single, a hot song. He also used AKA ghostwriters and everything else to help him fulfill out his album. I sat there and gave the dude props. Like he took it to a bigger step to be like, yo, I can use ghostwriters to help me write, not just the hot single.
Even what I was talking about.
Huh?
That's not even. I was comparing.
I know, but you were comparing a point. You were comparing a point that I wasn't
your original point. I don't care. I just said I was comparing your point to the point that you were saying about Drake. then I took it back to the beginning because that's how hip hop was created. I said that several times, but you ain't never heard that.
I heard it, but you
No,
said
did not.
No, what we're stuck on is the fact that you keep saying there was never the point I was making. You assume
it wasn't about your point. It's about what you said. That's the part that you're not hearing.
But you didn't let me finish because you were so.
You already finished what you were saying about the purpose of hip hop.
You're right. I'm not going to argue about a point that we can keep coming to the fact that disagreeing about. All I'm sitting there saying is that hip hop sales are declining. What I have said since the beginning and until this day is that when people kept sitting there looking like, yo, y'all criticizing these youngins, they out here getting their money, let them go get their money. The whole point is about this. Yes, let them go get their money till they realize that they sold it out. And when you realize that you sold it out, when you cheapened it, when you kept putting the dollar value on the art form compared to the fact that the art form being the art form, this is where you end up with eventually the piper catches up to you. And you got to pay that bitch. And right now, the art form has left the one thing that made it great, the one thing that made it genuine, that made other people who were outside of that lifestyle, the main consumers of it who sat there and couldn't wait to hear it, to understand it, or to experience it almost like an IMAX movie. You've lost it. And we came across as old man haters, and so many other artists have come across as old man haters. Whether they had ghostwriters or not, they were still telling the story of what was going on in their neighborhood, and they were being genuine. It's not really, the argument's not about ghostwriters. The argument really truly is about the fact that the art form got cheapened and put up for sale. And because of that, we are now experiencing that pain. It's no longer worth what it was because everything is about, yo, fuck making an album, i.e., what's the young nigga that's something about Bay and I'm in love with the Coco. OT Genesis. Rappers like him are allowed to flourish because they never have to put out a hard ass album. They don't even have to put out an album. All they got to do is every 2 to 3 years search for a hot single, hope it catches on, and survive. We cheapened the art form because we chased the dollar. That's the argument I'm making. Everything else about ghostwriters, everything else about niggas getting help for things is irrelevant to the point I was making.
You didn't even have to say it. You didn't have to say that. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't really think that's the issue. It's evolving. It's changing. It's run. It's taking its course. Just like R&B. It's trash compared to what it used to be, right? Rap is not what it used to be. It's not the only one. Reggae. Listen to reggae. It doesn't sound the same. Times are changing. Like when we were growing up, the stuff we listened to, our parents hated it, right? We hate the stuff that's coming out now. But I will say that it is obvious that rap sales are down. It's changing. It's not the most popular music no more. A lot of people are going towards Afro beats, and things like that. Everything changes, You can't run it forever. There's only so many fucking 8 balls you can sell. There's only so many niggas you can kill. It's changing. Sure.
Well, I say this. My opinion on it, and I'm gonna say that it's cyclical. Everything that has a beginning has a peak, and everything that has a peak has a decline, and everything that has a decline has a start, and it's going to start over. So going back to the beginning, like a Sugar Hill Gang, you had hip hop in its quote unquote purest form when it was siloed and not shared. And those cultures in different corners were able to develop their own styles. And then when those styles hit the mainstream, that's what made it popular because it was different. But when you have so much stuff making things popular, the people who see that trend try to hop onto what's popular and stop making original music. They just make what sounds like what's out now. And that's when people lose the love for music because it's not developing, it's not changing, it's not growing. There's nobody challenging. There's no East, West Coast sound. Everything's the same. So it makes it boring, and it is fucking boring. So I'm with the decline. I'm with the fall of it. Let it drop. Let it get back to its purest form, and let it become whatever it's going to become. You know, I mean, it's had its heyday. I don't want to say it's over. I would never say rip, but I would say it's going to evolve, and then it's going to come back stronger. And then, of course, it'll be cyclical in that aspect also.
You cheapen the art form. You make it easily and readily available. This is the bullshit you get. According to, based off of everything that you just talked about, is basically everything that has happened in hip hop. Cheapened it. We've prostituted hip hop. We've sat there and realized we commercialized. I don't want to say commercialized it, but in a sense, commercialized it to where it's packaged and prepackaged, and it's not the best thing I can say is not Kentucky Fried Chicken no more. It's KFC. It's when do you get what I'm saying when I say that it's not Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore? It's KFC. Do you understand the metaphor that I'm using? Yeah. And so this is what happens. Eventually, those that have soared the art form, those who have been the outsiders that have helped it grow, because you grow your art form of any kind grows when outsiders pay attention to it, right? Isn't that what you want? Not the people who always are in your homegrown thing. Like you can be a homegrown rapper and be super popular, but it's when those outside of your intent or your vision grab a hold of your vision and it blows up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we no longer were able to. Hip hop was no longer able to continue. Well, it did for a long time, but we commercialized it. But
yeah,
people started.
I just want to say something real quick to kind of add to that. Run DMC has a concert at the Madison Square Garden. I think this may be like 87 or 88, right?
Right.
In the concert, Leor Cohen is he's in a sense a hanger on at this moment, and he watches Run take off his Adidas, stick it in the air, and he watched 15,000 kids take their Adidas and stick them in the air. And he said it was the most amazing moment he ever seen in his life. And that's what let him understand that you can market hip hop as an asset and a monetizational tool to get rich. And from that moment on, and probably moments before, but this was the biggest moment that I can recall because somebody actually talked about it. I mean, he actually talked about it. Getting Run DMC a deal with Adidas was the next best step. And of course, after you do that, there's no rapper alive that doesn't want to have a shoe deal or a situation where they're not the number one person in the world, whatever gold chain that they rock, whatever hat that they rock, whatever body of clothing that they rock. But again, it kind of put the itemization in hip hop. Like if you don't got these, you don't got nothing.
Right.
And of course, we're raised in hoods where all that is what it, and it's based off of corporate greed, but we don't know that in the streets. We just think that starter jackets is the shit because it's the shit.
Right.
Nah, we're told that, and this is pushed to us in these music videos, especially back in the day when MTV was started, because this is all around the same time. So you have outside influences that come into hip hop because of the money, and I mean, it's the most natural thing in America to do. I hate to say it, but
capitalism at its finest.
Yeah, and tell me what rapper, yourself included, wouldn't love a company to come up to you saying, "Hey, we want you to push our, AirPod.
Yeah.
We want to put BV on here."
Right.
Yeah, nigga. Yeah.
Right.
But again, and it's not necessarily you selling out, but it is kind of
you sold out. Whether you know it or not, whether your intention was it for it or not, you sold out.
Yeah, and people said that about MC Hammer when he had the dolls and he had the TV show.
And everybody, Ice Cube and the rest of them are MC Hammer plus 10.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
After they was hating.
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying, because they realized, I got to get this money. And that's the best way to do it, is to monetize your brand. And in hip hop, that's the best way to do it. Get a hip hop, like I can't tell you all the Wu-Tang Clan videos that I've seen, these motherfuckers rocking Tommy Hilfiger like they're his cousin. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And we rocked it, and people got shot, stabbed, and killed over. I'm serious, over Hilfiger in Youngstown. If y'all don't believe me, I
No,
seen
I
it.
know.
Yeah, I know.
Hell yeah.
And so this all perpetuates that whole thing, man. That
Agree
whole thing.
with you. Agree
And
with you.
then, so under that weight, you're gonna have to collapse.
Yes. It's at some point. This is why Meek Mill pisses me off with so many other dudes. What happened to him? This is why a lot of rappers piss me off. Because they always talk about like, yo, the streets. And they act like the streets is what leads hip hop, right? Because they're under this misconception that the streets dictate what is hop in hip hop. That's not. It's suburbia. It's white kids in America. It's whatever they gravitate to, whatever they love that dictates what happens in hip hop. If it was up to the streets, KRS-One back when he came out would have been one of the greatest rapper of all time, right? Rakim would be like the GOAT. It's more than just the streets, but it's because a lot of these guys, these artists are still getting manipulated. And to me, I don't know how the fuck Meek Mill is cool with all these billionaires and still runs around stupid as fuck like, I'm about to feed the streets. No, your core audience that made you rich wasn't the streets. That's not who made you rich. But rich people in America, after a while, don't want to keep getting tricked into about a lifestyle that they already know. Something that they already understand. About bragging about, eventually it was bound to catch up to where they were like, all right, this whatever. It's not interesting. That's why when us as people come up with new trends, they blow up, i.e. drill music, because to them it was like, yo, this is new. This is new exploration into their world. This is hot. And that's why all our new trends like blow up like crazy, because it's not because us who live it or see it, or my brother who goes talk to these kids who actually lived the drill world. When you go to the prisons and talk to these young men that get locked up for it, or go to these youth, different camps and different things like that. Yo, that's not hot in the streets. That's like niggas is like, yo, this nigga Clarence lived up the street from me. Like, I know that nigga, I went through it worse. I was with this nigga, he got robbed.
Facts.
They know it. That's not pushing, that's not making them money. It's when white America is enthralled, is enticed, is enamored, or just pulled into what's happening in our community when we sell those stories about that. All that flashy rap, it was hot for the moment. It was party songs. They loved it. But then white people was like, yo, I really live this life for real. I don't have to fake it. My daddy makes me live this life and I ain't even got to go to work. That just stops being appealing. Your Bentleys and everything else eventually, no disrespect to Diddy, but that fades. And then you become like, what do you have to offer me? And then eventually they become like, yo, I don't know. There's a reason why some of these artists last long and a lot of these artists don't.
Facts.
And so saying that with love and respect to the art form I grew up to know, there's a reason why a lot of us who like rap music, and I'm saying us, even though I don't fall into that group, don't understand hip hop, Eminem's appeal to hip hop, or Eminem's appeal to people. But all your GOATs, all your legends in hip hop, look at Eminem, majority of them, not all, majority of them look at him like, yo, he respects the culture. Yeah. He respects the art form. He pledges allegiance. He gives back. They love him because, for one, he didn't have to. He didn't, to them, he didn't sell out. He always gave props and recognized the pioneers of hip hop. Always gave them their props. If you ask Tretch would think Eminem was the god, because Eminem will always sit there and say like, yo, Tretch helped me out so much with my rhyme pattern. Rakim is the same way. KRS-One even is like, yo, like there are goats and legends who's like, yo, this dude just loves hip hop and loves rap music because
Eminem's the shit.
Yeah, he comes in and we don't have to like what he talks about, but that you know what I love about what he talks about is because that wasn't my reality, that was his reality. That was his experience and what hip hop did for him. Eminem was never sold out from that. Eminem never tried to come in and be a gangster rapper. Eminem never tried to come in and be like, yo, I'm like,
I don't know, man.
I seen him with a wave cap before.
Yeah, he talked about a lot of guns on that Exhibit record, man.
Well, he from Detroit, so he can pull it off. You know what I mean, but you know what I mean. Like, and so when you say that, it's
fuck
just
that. I protect myself with these 12 shots.
Yeah, like, bro, like, but he's also contributed and gave you dope ass rappers who you felt respected and loved hip hop also. Like Obi Trice has one of the dopest first albums I've ever heard. Yeah. Even with D12, it was he gave them brothers their shot and he put them on. Royce, even with Royce the 5'9", like when you hear this, you're like, yo, this dude loves rap music. I love rappers. Like my bro, you know who I know we about to end it, but Eminem made me appreciate, and I hate to say it, but this is just for me, my ignorance, but I was always a West Coast rap fan. Eminem made me appreciate ODB.
Because the unconventional method of rapping.
Yes. And to hear, and you go about like, yo, this nigga had bars on bars, and he was just, but I was like, yo, him and Slum Village. When I heard him on Slum Village's song, you go back the fuck up, the fuck up. And I was like, my bro was playing that shit. And I was like, oh my God, ODB sound. Yeah. And you just learn shit and you just respect, love the art form. Like there's I respect Diggable Planets more now today than I probably ever did back then.
Oh, you tripping. I was playing that shit since I was 12.
I know you were playing that shit and I hated it. But you know me, I was also like the biggest corrupt fan ever.
I don't either. I still don't know what they talking about. But I love that shit.
My favorite part, he was like, where I'm from. He was like, they'd be like, run your coat, black. Jupiter.
Beat by the pack where I'm from. Chupanine, Gangsta Lean, where I'm from. It'd be like infinite. Yeah, they talk about 7 sectors and traveling to 7 stuff. Caterpillars and bugs and stuff. I'm like, oh my God.
But those are the things that not only attracted black people, but attracted white people. That's why Diggable Planets can still tour today off of 2, on our opinion. Not when I say R, I'm speaking in general. Our opinion off of 2 super pop Far Side. Why them niggas can still come together and tour today?
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Like it's just
California was the shit.
Like it's understanding that music reached and gave people a venture into what was me, yours, and Reg's reality. You know what I'm saying? Spice One is not popular just because all niggas love it. No. White folks, me and my bro, me and you was there when we went to Nori House.
Oh, yeah.
And Spice One had just dropped the album with America, because Nightmare. And me and him was loving it. We didn't know we was gonna go to that house and hear that album being played, that tape being played. It was the black fans experience. And my Jewish friends all enthralled, had my white friends all enthralled, that pulled them into it. They were selling them a story, an experience of America. Then they fell in love with America that they did not know. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's true.
Everybody wanted to be cool.
What'd you say?
Everybody wants to be cool.
Yeah, everybody wants to be cool. And to them, they thought it was cool. To me, to us, we loved Snoop Dogg and them because Snoop Dogg and them sold us, while we living in Ohio, a reality that wasn't our reality. But then it suddenly became our reality. We were like, we don't want this shit. Yo, gangbanging was cool when it was happening in Cali, but when it came to Ohio, we was like, the fuck?
Yeah, like I remember Bunk one time tried to run down on me coming out of his house. I think me, you, and Jer Lee was coming from somewhere. Yeah, and he tried to run up on me talking about, man, what set you claiming, homie? Because I had my visor. Back then, visors was like the shit, the Nike visors.
Yeah.
I don't remember how I had it. I just like, what the fuck you talking about, bro? Like, we just playing basketball, man. Look, here. He's like, oh, okay. I'm like, come on, man. Like, all of a sudden, we game banging, nigga. We was just playing nice football 2 days ago.
2 days ago, nigga. But Reggie lived it just like me and you did. And even sometimes more firsthand because he watched how that shit destroyed people that grew up best friends.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sit there and say, I'm going to just say Bert and leave anybody else unnamed. But we grew up experiencing that shit. Lil Reggie, we grew up experiencing like this bullshit.
He was cool as fuck.
He was cool as fuck. Like, yo, so we grew up, all of us, and I don't want to exclude my bro because my bro was right there when it all happened. And he knows them people I'm talking about. But hip hop did mean life or death. Because it was there for us when we went through so many experiences. But it was the experiences of things we fell in love with hip hop because we love DJ Quick because we was like, yo, just like Compton or whatever the case. We didn't fall in love with him because it wasn't the experiences we was going through. It was experiences that we was like, yo, what the fuck?
I never drink again if you'll let me live. We're like, okay, we're 11, 12 talking about getting drunk. We don't know what that was.
And so for us, that's what made us fall in love with hip hop. Hip hop was about telling the stories that we don't know or we can easily access. This, all three of us probably would pay for it 2 days later when our credit card statements come due, go to the club and trick off a whole bunch of money on our credit cards, right? And feel like the man for that night. We could experience it if we want to experience it. But responsibility has taught us like, nigga, I don't want to live that lifestyle. Fuck you.
I want to pay it back.
No. And so that's what I'm saying. That's all I say about hip hop is hip hop sold out. And I understand why it did because I know a lot of those people that got involved with it, most, not all, was like, yo, for the love of money. And they enjoyed the ride and they made millions and they've been great. And they've done some amazing things and seen the world. There's a lot of those same people that are now the biggest proponents of like, yo, even though I got into it for this, it's about this. Nelly will tell you there's writing sideways how much he appreciates KRS-One and what KRS-One means to hip hop, even though they had a beef. Pharrell, not Pharrell, but Nori will tell you, no much how Pharrell's helped him sell, he still appreciates hip hop and the foundation of it. I appreciate East Coast rap more so now than I ever did. I appreciate Mace. When I heard Mace album, I never heard Sell Out one time. I just heard a dude explain it, his Harlem World living lifestyle. And that's why those records, because Mace brought you into his world. Mace didn't bring you into Biggie's world. Mace sold you Mace's world. And that's what makes him dope. I love hip hop for hip hop. I love for it the uniqueness. I love for it when it told me that I miss when we was arguing about East Coast, West Coast, down south, and everything else, bro. Because we were arguing about dope ass music from dope ass artists who were telling their story, but it was their stories.
That's a fact.
And their biggest thing was not trying to copycat each other or use the same producers.
It was just being better.
It was just being better. Long live hip hop, man. Who said it? It was one of you two said, I don't love it, but I like what it's going through right now because it's gonna make it get back to the essence. Yeah, he said it.
Yeah.
I hate that these rappers suffer, but I love that they got to suffer because you know what it's gonna make them do? Those
Make
that
better
want to
fucking
survive,
music.
make
Yep.
better fucking music. Go ahead and make better fucking products instead of cheapskating, riding Metro Boomin, riding fucking whoever else is from Atlanta, riding this person. It's gonna make them come along and be like, yo, let's find my sound.
Man.
The legends find their sound and make everybody adjust to it. That's why Future has lasted this long. Everybody think he's no the style everybody else is copying those producers, but he keep going back to him because that's Future's sound.
I agree. I like his latest album too.
Man, I ain't even heard it yet.
I
I should
ain't
have been
listened to
heard
it.
it. I should have been heard it.
I'm not even a Future fan, but I respect Future because I know that that's Future sound.
56 Nights? Man, Future, he be lighting up
No,
sometimes.
I know. Like there's song, like I like March Madness. I was like, I don't even know why I like that song. I just fucking love that song. Madness, son, yeah, bitch. Yo, he for his Future. But you know what I love more about the Future story is he paid his dues being in the Dungeon family.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that's right.
Bro, come on, man. I love this hip hop shit. Me and my bro, we grew up since writing on them old school fucking play school tables with the white top and the blue or yellow
Big
fucking
yellow legs.
Yellow
we used to beat
legs.
each other with.
writing raps on them bitches. Like
We all
we
bumpy
grew
on the
up,
paper.
yeah, it's all bumpy and shit. And Reggie grew up in that lifestyle too. But we love the art form. I love music.
Me too.
I love fucking music, and I love when music feels genuine and not motherfuckers chasing the sound. How many times have we heard somebody put out some shit and be like, yo, he just chasing so the sound is popular right now. And it may be even catchy. It may be catchy, but we're like, yo, like you only use producer because so-and-so had that producer.
Facts.
I don't like the commercialization of hip-hop.
It's too late for that. It's too late.
I don't think so. I think these artists gonna get. When I say this, catch me if I'm wrong. I think y'all gonna agree with me. When I realize what's happening in hip hop, I hate it, like my bro said earlier, but I love it because it almost puts you back to they're gonna have to start being more competitive against each other. It's almost gonna put it into that Purple Rain movie effect where you're showing up in local events competing against each other with these songs, with the product that you're
and the hottest
out.
make it out.
The hottest make it out. And give me that. Give me that.
That's how it was, man.
Give me that. I love it. Give me that. That's what made R&B better. When R&B had to go through it, that's what made rock better. When rock had to go through it because the survival of the fittest. And only the best rock songs made it. And hip hop needs to experience it just like all those other genres.
I got a dip, man. I'm sorry.
All right. So we about to end it. But Reg, you got anything you want, bro? You got anything you want to shout out before we end it?
No, just don't sleep on tennis. Check out Reggie's TikTok. Check out Jamar. You know, just keep rocking with us, y'all. I see y'all on X. We love it. Keep rocking with us.
Good night, man.
All right, love y'all. Take care.
Take care, bro. Yeah, I ain't got shit.